All right, what's up guys? Mr. Garard here. Welcome to my garage. Welcome to my channel. First YouTube video for you guys. I've had a lot of requests to actually make videos on how I build stuff. So I think I'll finally just do that. I've got some time off of work thanks to coronavirus, so why not? I figure I got the time. Why not make a couple videos for you guys? See how it goes. So with that, let's get right into it. Okay, so without further ado, first video will be bang bang installing these sweet Overfenders onto a first gen Miata. In this case, mine's a 95. There's many reasons people like to run Overfenders. It looks cool, it makes the car wider stance, better handling, and you can fit a wider tire under there. That's the reason I'm doing it. I want to fit a wider tire under there. I don't like the stretch. Right now I've got a 195 stretched onto a 10J, and that's just, it's just not safe. Stance boy, that's not my life. I'm going for more an aggressive stance, more tire, more meat. Anyways, so really that's the only reason you should be putting Overfenders on your car. Put more tire under it. Anyways, but that's neither here nor there. You want to know how to install these, and I'm going to show you how to install these. Let's go. Okay, so before we get started, we need to kind of do a tool rundown. It's tools you're going to need to complete this job. So tool number one, we're going to need a grinder and some cutoff wheels. I got an air saw here. You don't really need it. You could get all the work done with the grinder. However, I don't feel like setting my garage on fire with all the sparks. There's a lot less sparks involved with an air saw, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And for that, I've got my 32 TPI metal cutting bits. I've also got my palm sander with varying grits of sandpaper from 40 all the way up to 800. Really, I'll probably just stay in the middle here at about 140 or 120, 240 to get most of the work done, and then probably 400 later on, but that's later on. I've got my Clecos, I've got my Cleco tool, spring-loaded center punch tool. Everyone should definitely have one of these, especially if you're going to be doing any sort of drilling. Pick yourself up one of these. Unibit, step bit, Christmas tree bit, whatever you want to call it. Get yourself a couple of these in different sizes. Writing tool, carpenter's pencils work great on just about anything. Drill, assorted drill bits, hammers, mallets, gloves, safety glasses, a must. You do not want to fuck up your eyes. I've got my riv nut tool. Definitely need one of those. If you don't have one of those, get one. There's so many uses for this thing. Anyways, I've got my riv nuts. These are the M4. I'm going with M4 for the body panel. I just think M6 is going to be a little bit too big. The footprint for these bolts, I don't know. It's more of a personal preference thing, but I think that's just going to take up a little too much space on that quarter panel, so I went with the smaller M4. Just a personal preference thing. I'm still waiting on my M4 bolts to show up from Amazon, but I got those on the way. And I also needed it to order an M4 attachment for my riv nut tool. And for your M4 riv nuts, you need a specific drill bit. In this case, it's a 6mm drill bit in order to fit this snugly into the hole we drill in the car. So, and you know, just some basic hand tools and stuff is another good thing to have as well. And then just a good attitude and some elbow grease, and we should be able to knock this out. So let's get it going. Right, so the focus of this video is going to be just getting this panel prepped on the car, doing a little bit of sanding, drilling holes, getting this thing situated on the vehicle so I know what I need to do as far as sanding the edges down, getting my lines, you know, to line up over here, getting my lines over here to line up. It's just going to be prep work, basically. In this next video, I'll be actually, you know, getting into the meat and potatoes of this thing and cutting into the body of the car and doing all that fun stuff. But for now, let's drill some holes. Okay, so I've already got a couple holes drilled in it. That's just to put my Cleco fasteners in there to hold it in place. But before I had the Clecos, I just put painter's tape on a couple spots, stuck it in place where I wanted it, did some adjustments, and then I drilled my first few holes for the Cleco fasteners. Now it's just being held up by Clecos. Another thing is, you want to get your measurements right. So I've got mine a 1/2 inch from this black edge here, and then I've got it a 1/2 inch away from this edge here. Basically a 1/2 inch in all the way around. And then I've got these are roughly, I think they're about 6 1/4 on center. You could do the math. All I did was I picked 2 points, boom, boom, cut it in half, and then cut that in half. And now I've got equal spacing. This was the same method there. These two ended up being the same, about 6 1/4, and these were about 6 down here, 6 inches, and then 6 inches. Now we got to start drilling the rest of the holes. So I'm going to finish drilling the rest of the holes, put my Cleco fasteners, and check it out. I love these little Clecos, man. These are so sweet. So basically how these work is you got your little tool here, you fit it in your tool, and you squeeze it. And the center, I don't know if you gotta see it, center of it, you're pulling that center out or in, and there's little tangs on the end, and they open up and hold your material on. Pretty cool. Very useful. Very useful for doing anything like this, where you're constantly removing a panel. These are a lifesaver. Right, so I've got all my holes drilled, all my Cleco fasteners installed. Now what I'm gonna go through, and I've already done a little bit, is I'm just gonna go mark all the places where I need to do some sanding or remove some materials, smooth things out. I'm just gonna mark. I've already done that here, all the way around here. I just want these lines to line up the way that I want them to line up. You could just slap it on there straight out of the box like this and roll with it, but I'm a little more anal when it comes to something like that. So do as you wish. This is my method. So. All right, got a little bit of the sanding done. A little bit of progress made. Still got a lot of touch up to do in here, but you get the idea. Get back to it. Okay, so I got this edge all lined up where I want it. Looks pretty decent. Now I gotta figure out this gas lid situation here. It's not looking so great. You can see there's quite a gap over here and none over here. So I'm just gonna open this side up a little bit and just try to make the best out of a shitty situation. It's just not in the right spot. It's off to the left about a 1/4 inch. I'm just gonna open it up and hopefully it doesn't look too shitty. Okay, there we have it. They got this side all done, got the gas lid hole opened up a little bit. It's not 100% perfect, but you know what? It'll do for now. Got all my Clecos in, got all my edges lined up, looking really good to where I want them. And I got this side done as well. So the next step would be to drill the holes for my rib nuts, get my rib nuts inserted. Unfortunately, the rib nut tool that I bought didn't come with an M4 attachment. Smallest I think is like a 1/4 inch, and that's not what I need. I need metric, not standard. So I went on Amazon and got me an attachment for my tool, so I'm waiting for that to come in. I'm also waiting for my M4 bolts to come in. Got my M4 riv nuts, but I need my bolts and the attachment to actually insert the riv nuts. So while I'm waiting on those, I'll probably just throw these videos together, edit it, throw it up on YouTube, and then in my second video, I'll actually be diving in and actually cutting the body panel, cutting into the car itself, removing some of that, and I'll be drilling the holes for the riv nuts. I'll be doing some welding, things of that nature. So I got a lot of stuff planned for this car. So if you like this sort of stuff, if you're into building stuff, if you're into Miatas or Mazdas or cars in general, just stay tuned. I got a lot of stuff coming, like this. I've got a heat extraction vent from Garage Star that I need to put into an OEM hood. That's gonna be a ton of work. I've got my Grip Royal steering wheel that I need to install. I've got the rest of the quarter panels to finish. I've got a ton of body work and paint to do on this thing. There's tons of work to be done, and it never ends. Eventually, I'm going to be turboing this thing as well, so I'll be going through a whole build series as far as building the engine inside now. I want it to handle, you know, about 250 wheel horse reliably. I want to be able to beat the shit out of this thing and not worry about it popping. So a whole series of stuff on this to go. So and I'll probably do like a build biology, I guess you call it, just to get you caught up to where I'm at, because there's a lot of work that's already been done that's obviously not on YouTube. This is my first video, so I'll probably end up doing like a build biology at some point. Yeah, got plenty of content for you guys. Hopefully I have time to keep filming and editing. We'll see how it goes. We'll just kind of play it by ear. This is, you know, this is new to me, so whatever. Anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.